Hello and welcome to No Man Living Guide. My name is Scott. Since 2015, I have called many places home. From trial and error and some crazy times, I'm here to share my experience finding a place to rent. I'm not gonna lie. This is one. How can we put it? It is an adventure in an adventure in an adventure. Trying to find a place to rent. You think it's hard where you live? Try doing it in a culture that you don't speak the language. You may not understand the norms.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Well, for a lot of my mistakes and maybe luck came in, I'm here to share. In 2015, I lived overseas. I went to Thailand. Part of the requirements in my early years teaching English was the employment. Was in the contract was housing was going to be provided for us. Depends on your contract. Well, for me, the school I was working for, usually there was going to be a mediator. Someone who went around and, did all the negotiations, worked it all out, and, help you secure a place to live. My experience is usually the schools have some type of, history with the people who are renting their apartments. So it's like a networking and networking and network. It's like everyone knows each other, and they're like, "Oh yes, we got three more teachers coming our way." So in Thailand, I remember the city I was in. There was like two apartment buildings that pretty much the school had a history uh, with dealing, and maybe they got a discount. I never really looked into it, but I mean, it was as long as they kept bringing in teachers, foreign teachers into their region. Uh, they had a system in place. I'm not going to say it was good or bad. The apartment I had was pretty decent. When I moved to Taiwan, it was similar. My employer helped me find a place. The city I was in, or the district I was in, no one spoke English. So if I went on by myself, I was going to have a one interesting go. Probably it would had a lot more failures than success. And it was the same thing when I first moved to Ukraine. My first apartment was with the school. Same thing. The school had a network in place in the city, and they had all these apartments, and they didn't really care. They just threw a bunch of us together and like, now you're roommates. That was my experience. Well, in about September, October 2016, that's when I decided to break off and do everything by myself. Oh, I can remember that. I was in Ukraine. Yeah. Not a lot of people spoke English at the time. It was better over the years, but some of these old landlords, well, they weren't really English was not their strongest suit. So that was the challenging part. So be prepared for language barriers. So whatever country you're going to, maybe you know the language. Or if you don't, well, you gotta think about this because getting off the plane saying, "Oh, I'm going to get this," not so easy sometimes. Into well, this was 2016, so Google Translate was the was the best option I had for a translator. Um, I wouldn't replace a human translator. I would use a human, someone who actually spoke the language. Use that. Google Translate is still kind of funny when using. I kind of get the idea what they're saying, but at the same time, you're just like shaking your head and scratching, like, I think I know what you're saying. And I can only assume what the translation was trying to tell whoever listening. So yeah, I use Google Translate for pretty much when looking for apartments on my own. About this would have to been 2 years. There was a couple of apartments I was doing everything by myself. If you're going to try to look for an apartment, try to make a friend. Um, make friends before you come into the country, or have someone already there for you. Maybe for your employment, have someone at your work help you with be a translator. Um, you know, that's the best choice. Because definitely the language does play a huge role in communicating and trying to negotiate your deal. What is the bills going to be? What bills are you going to have to pay? Is it going to be a one bill? Is it going to be multiple bills? What paperwork do they need from you? All this stuff. And it's just much easier if you have someone who can speak the language and help you. So yeah, try finding someone who try to make friends who can help you. Set up like on expat forum page. I shall use on whatever country I'm using. See if there's any foreigners living in the country, and try to get some information. Usually, you have some locals on the page that they offer their services. There's like all these brokers will help you, but the problem is you're a foreigner. They're going to take advantage of you. I mean, they mean well, but at the same time, they need to put food on their table. And if you don't speak the language, well, they make sure that they're going to see if they're going to take care of themselves. I'm not saying that it's all bad, but you know, you got to think about that.